Madison Community School. We usually start our meeting with the pledge to the flag. I ask you to join us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now observe a moment of silence. Thank you. 1.3, any adjustments to the agenda? Dr. Hall.
There are no adjustments to the agenda, President Hutton.
Thank you. Item 1.4, core purpose, core values. Our core purpose is success for all students. Our core goal is at least 90% of students pass language, arts, English, and mathematics on state assessments. For core values, under character, we will continue to be an institution guided by ethical strength. For students, we will continue to put students first in our priorities and our decision-making. Service, we will continue to be an organization known for its servant spirit. And stewardship, we will continue to embody the qualities of stewardship. Nobody has signed up to address an agenda item, so we'll move into organizational requirements. At this point in time, we will have the office, oath of office done, and I'll turn this over to Judge Angela Warner-Sims to swear in our 4 members.
Good evening, and if I could have the 4 new board members that are being sworn in this evening, please stand, and each of you raise your right hand for me, please. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the State of Indiana.
and the State of Indiana.
I will faithfully execute the duties of my office
Faithfully execute the duties of my office
as a member of this governing body,
as a member of this governing body.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Now, congratulations.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, board members. We'll move on to item 2.2, the election of officers. And I'll get feedback from the board. We can either do this as one solid slate of all 4 at the same time, or we can do it individually. What's the pleasure of the board? Mike?
Say individually.
Individually?
I agree.
Buck?
Sorry?
Individual or as a group?
Individual.
Angela?
Individuals, fine.
Okay, well, that takes it out of our hands, so we'll do it individually. For office of president, do I have a nomination?
I nominate John Lord for president.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a nomination and a second. Penny?
Anna Blake? Yes. Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Gitter?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Mike Hanna?
Yes.
Mark Thompson? You guys
Yes.
are moving on me. Bill Hutton?
Yes. And at this point in time, happy with the way things have gone, and I turn this over with confidence. John Lord, you are now President Lord.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Hutton. Appreciate that. Okay, we will continue on. Now, Mrs. Matthews, are you conducting this the rest of the way, or do you want us to conduct it?
It's up to you. I'm happy to
What-
help.
You go ahead if you'd like to.
You've got your next officer then would be vice president. So we will entertain a motion for nomination of vice president.
I would like to nominate Mark Thompson as vice president.
Second.
I heard a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Denny, can you call the roll, please?
Anna Blake? Yes. Buck Evans? Kevin Gitter?
Yes.
Mike Hanna?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes.
Okay, so then now you definitely need a secretary as well. So we would entertain a motion for secretary.
At this time, I nominate Buck Evans to be secretary.
Second.
I'm not getting a coffee.
I heard a motion, a second, and a bit of discussion. Is there any other discussion? Go ahead, Penny.
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans,
Sure.
Kevin Kinder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah,
Yes.
Bill Hutton.
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes.
John Lloyd.
Yes.
Okay, those are your three officers that are required by law. Do you have other officers customarily?
Assistant Secretary.
Assistant Secretary,
Please.
then let us entertain a motion for Assistant Secretary.
I'll nominate Mike Hannah.
Second.
I heard a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on Assistant Secretary? All right, go ahead, Penny.
Anna Blake. Yes. Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Kinder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah.
Yes.
Bill Hutton.
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes.
John Lloyd.
Yes.
And are there any other officers in customary? No, okay.
Nope.
Those are the typical ones, but occasionally there's a second vice president and some other additional offices that school boards like to have. So congratulations to all your new officers and thank you all for your service. I will turn it back over to the board president to talk about, to our new board president, to talk about dates, times, and sites of meetings.
Great. You have seen, we've received in the board packet to set our time and dates of meetings. There are two options there. Does the board have any discussion about which options they prefer? There is an A, and there's a B, and then there's if we would like to do something else.
Well, B is one work day. I'm trying to find it here.
One is, yes, one has one work session in May during for the retirement celebration. So,
One's enough.
Yeah, I think so too.
Make a motion.
I'll make a motion
you make a motion? Okay.
that one
Which would be B.
B.
That B?
Yes.
Okay. So a motion for B, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Penny?
Anna Blake. Yes. Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Kinder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah.
Yes.
Bill Hutton.
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes.
John Lloyd.
Yes. 2.4 is board compensation. You see the packet, you've seen how it is. Is there any discussion by the board about that, about board compensation?
I have a motion to make.
Okay?
I move that board member compensation for 2025 be set on Indiana Code 20-26-4-7 and School Board Bylaw 144.01, which allow for board members to receive $2,000 for their services and a per diem amount equal to the rate of the members of the Board of Commissioners of the Indianapolis Public Schools, which is currently set at $150 per board meeting and $75 per committee meeting.
Okay, so we have a motion. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay. Penny, and we'll call roll.
Anna Blake. No. Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Kinder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah,
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
Mark Thompson,
Yes.
John Lloyd.
Yes. Okay, appointments. We have several boards that we are part of. So the school board will make the following appointments as is listed in our board packet. The school corporation treasurer, school corporation assistant treasurer, the delegate to the ISBA convention, the ISBA legislative liaison, the policy liaison, and the athletic council representative. So we have those, and then there are several advisory committees also that we will need to have people volunteer to serve on. As stated there, the officer's appointment for school corporation assistant treasurer and the board president has done the other two in the first list in the past. The first three, excuse me, and then, okay, so we need to appoint a school corporation treasurer. And I don't know if you want to take all these six together. What's the pleasure of the board?
I think we probably need to take
1 through 5.
3, 4, and 5 different because it's a different person this year.
Good point, okay.
Um,
So 1 and 2?
take 1 and 2,
Okay.
and I would move that 1 and 2 be the same as they are this past year, with Penny Myers being the treasurer and Connie Jones assistant treasurer.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, so we have a first and a second. Penny, would you call roll, please?
Anna Blake? Yes. Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hanna?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes. Okay, now we have the board representatives to the ISBA legislative liaison, the policy liaison, the athletic council representative, and 10 other positions that is listed there, from the alternative school, the area vocational, WEAM, industrial technology. What we'll probably do is, in the past, we've just gone through and we've talked about who would like to serve what. If there's disagreement, then we'll vote on it, but there's plenty for everybody. So please feel free to speak up. All right, let's just start with the delegate to the ISBA convention.
That's always usually the
president.
president.
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
All right, the ISBA legislative liaison,
Same.
the policy liaison designate, okay. How about the athletic council representative?
Mike Hanna.
Mike, if you don't care, I'd like to have that this year.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Buck will
They,
do that.
they meet in March, and I have that date.
Okay.
Okay.
The alternative school program,
I would like that, if I could.
Kevin would, okay. The area vocational,
I could do that one.
thank you. WEAM,
I'd like to do that.
industrial technology,
I can do that one again.
okay. Technology,
I'll do it.
okay. Vocational agriculture,
I've had it for 2 years in a row. If somebody else wants it, speak up. If not, I'll keep it.
It's all yours.
Don't everybody jump at once.
Got me into it. It's you.
okay. Vocational business education,
Ooh.
okay. I don't mind doing it. Vocational family and consumer life sciences,
I could do that one.
okay, great. Safety and security,
Mark.
Do you ever have two people that do one, like, together? Or if you're interested, like, could you sit in on those meetings with another person, or?
When we had the industrial trades department, there were 2 of us at that point in time. So it's, not- precedent, yes, we can.
Okay, I would love to help
Anybody
with
can
this.
go if that's your question.
Yeah, I'd love
Anybody
to
can
help
go.
with the
Oh, yeah, you
security
can.
and safety one,
Okay.
too.
That's fine. And the representative of the interlocal special education board, I believe that has to be Dr. Hall,
That would be,
okay.
Give it up if you want.
I deal with enough.
Okay, and then there's one more down there, the board representative to the redevelopment commission.
Mike Hanna.
All right. Mike, you okay doing that?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, Penny, could you read those all back to us so we make sure we've got them down correctly, please?
There's a couple I did not hear.
Okay.
Okay. The delegate to the ISBA, John Lord.
Uh-huh.
The ISBA just went blank, John Lord. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. The next one, the liaison,
Mhm.
I did not get that.
That's me.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, John,
Okay.
I mean, you've got a lot. Do you want me to take that vocational business?
Oh, if you want to.
I'll take that.
Okay. So, go ahead, Penny, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
The athletic council, Buck
Uh-huh.
Evans.
Okay.
The alternative school program, Kevin. Area vocational, Anna. WEAM, Bill. The industrial tech, Mark. Technology.
The vocational, I'll take it.
The
No, this is
technology,
just technology.
I
thought
didn't-
Bill had it.
Oh, no, just technology, Bill.
Yes.
Bill has that.
that
Bill
was
has that.
Bill,
Yes.
okay. Vocational agriculture,
That's me.
Buck. The vocational business ed, John.
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kevin's
you're
gonna take that.
switched, okay.
Yeah, he's gonna take it.
the Vocational Family and Consumer Life Science, Anna, the Security and Safety, Mark and Anna, and then the representative to the Interlocal Specialist, Dr. Hall. Redevelopment Committee is Mike Hannah. Okay.
Great, okay.
Who did you have for the athletic council representative?
Buck.
Me.
Buck?
Okay.
Yeah. All right, great.
I thought you'd said Kevin.
I had.
All right.
What, you
I
don't
had
think
Bud.
I'm looking like?
So,
Wait.
do we need to approve these, Dr. Hall?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
All
make
right.
a motion that we approve these as stated.
Just insinuating I'm right.
All right. Okay, Penny.
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Ginder.
Yes.
Mike Hannah,
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
Mark Thompson,
Yes.
John Lord.
Yes. Okay, we will now move to 3.1, reports, the Indiana High School diploma requirements. Mr. Crewer?
Thank you, President Lord. You should have an attachment in your board docs. I think Brittany's also going to try to cast it up for anyone who may not have it or find it easier to see on the screen. Give that a second for her. Okay. Since March of 2024, the Indiana State Board of Education, in March of 2024, the State Board of Ed released a first draft of new diploma requirements, which they were legislatively required to do. They released a second draft in August, and then in December, they passed the final rule, so effectively set the new diploma requirements for all Indiana high schools. So I know as the different drafts were coming through next year, we had some conversation about it, and some of the impact, and obviously both times it was, well, let's kind of see what actually happens at the final. So we have a final draft. So wanted to, make sure that the board was aware, and then just point out a few things to the board as you are viewing it. First of all, the State Board of Ed, they have stated that their goal of the new diploma as they designed it, that they kind of had three main goals, which was flexibility for students, simplicity, and increased access to work-based learning opportunities for students. So that's three of their stated goals as one of the reasons for the design. One big point to clarify that this goes into effect for the class of 2029, which is our current 8th graders. And our students at PHHS now will still be earning the Core 40 diploma. So it's kind of rolling in as our students move from 8th grade into freshman next year, they will have to meet their requirements. So the document on the board or on the monitor and in your board docs from the DOE is a side-by-side comparison of the current Core 40, which our students at high school now, and we've been operating under for several years, and compares that to the new Indiana diploma. So a couple things that I will highlight. It does increase the minimum number of required credits to 42 instead of 40. That is in part due to 3 new required courses: personal finance, a computer science course, and preparing for college and careers. There is an increase in flexibility of options that students will have to fulfill the credit requirements across different disciplines, as you can tell there, and fewer required courses in those departments. So if you look at math, they have 7 math credits that they have to get, but there are fewer required math courses. You had to take Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2 in order to meet the Core 40 requirements. With the new diploma, you have to successfully complete Algebra 1, Personal Finance, and then 4 additional math credits. So it provides more flexibility for the student. The DOE did share the courses that would meet the math requirements in late December. But we were hoping for some more flexibility with that. Like, for example, there are many CTE courses that are very math heavy. We are hoping that some of those might meet a math requirement. They haven't, or currently, they are not on the list of approved courses that would meet a math requirement for the new diploma. And there are some that may still, but they're waiting to be approved. So we're still in the process of them approving things for us then to kind of work with our students on. So that was kind of math. Another example of that, when in science, only biology 1 is required. So they have more science credit, but only one required science class that they have to take. Social studies, only U.S. history and government are required. For a long time, econ was a required senior course. It is no longer required of our students. That's not to say it won't be offered as an elective and students could sign up for it, but it's not a graduation requirement starting with the class of 2029. And then PE and health, only 1 PE credit is now required instead of 2. So those are some big changes that probably jump off the page to you. And then obviously there's also only 1 type of diploma that's on here. There's no longer a Core 40, a technical honors, academic honors, or general diploma. There's 1 diploma. But what the State Board of Ed did do with the diploma is a student can add what they're calling readiness seals, which is on the 2nd page of that document, with the intent that a student who now has more flexibility, more electives that they can choose, that they can use those spaces freed up for electives related and take courses related to their future goals of either enrollment in college, employment, or enlistment in the armed services. I'm not going to go through all the requirements of the seals there. They're there. If you reviewed it and have questions, I'm happy to answer, but that's the gist of the seals. A challenge for us and most schools across the state is the fact that we are starting to schedule students for 25-26 now. Some started in December. And as I mentioned earlier, the DOE has shared the list of courses that will fulfill some of those, and some that are still being considered but still need approval. So we're doing our best to anticipate the impact of some of these changes, particularly in staffing. Moving forward, we're continuing to work with middle school admin and high school admin, and just how can we best set up our schools and courses for our students to be successful. So again, I wanted to make sure that you all had seen that. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them as best I can.
I do have a question. Mr. Creer?
Yes.
What did this to some of those students in our special ed population?
Well, I mentioned math first, and this isn't specific to a student with an IEP and receive special education services, but geometry and algebra 2 are not easy courses to pass, particularly algebra 2. So we feel like our students having flexibility in terms of what math classes they are taking to meet that math requirement is pretty important. You know, they certainly can continue to take geometry and algebra 2 and calculus and stats, and we will offer those, but there will also be one of the courses later on in the meeting that I'll ask for approval on is technical math. That is actually in the CTE list of courses from the DOE. It's been on the DOE's course description, but it hasn't been something that we have offered as an elective, which is why we're offering or asking for approval to add it to our course book. But now it will be considered, it will meet the math requirement for graduation. So that's a class that a student could take. It's more project-based, looking at technical aspects of math, how it relies or applies to different technical aspects, a little more real world as opposed to an Algebra 2 course, which is a little different than technical math.
Anything else for that group of students?
I mean, they don't, the diploma doesn't specifically mention that group of students. I think anytime we give any of our students flexibility in terms of what they do, or how they meet those goals, and if it aligns to something that they're passionate about, I think that that's gonna hopefully build engagement in one. If it's one who may be lacking the motivation to come into school because I'm sitting in Algebra 2 and it's really, really hard and I don't know how I'm ever going to use this again in my life. I'm not interested in going to school. I know the things that I want to do. I want to work with my hands. That having flexibility to do those things, I think is a good thing.
So you believe there's enough flexibility for someone that is in our special ed population that they can still get a graduation diploma with the items that are built into this as flexibility?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Any other questions from the board? Mr. Kerr?
Just one, do they still give that four-year certificate, four-year completion certificate?
Yeah, they don't call it the certificate of completion as much anymore. Last year, they introduced something called the alternate diploma, which had to do with students that have significant cognitive disability. So it is, that there is an alternate diploma for students with that type of disability.
Yeah, we did that in Muncie, when I worked in Muncie, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr.
Welcome.
Kerr. Appreciate that. Well, let's head down now to 4.1, the approval of minutes for the regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees on December the 5th. You've had these in your packets. Any discussion about those?
Move we approve them.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Okay. Penny, whenever you're ready.
Anna Blake,
I have to abstain from these, right?
Buck Evans,
Yes.
Kevin Ginder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah.
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
Mark Thompson,
Yes.
John Gordon.
Yes. 4.2, approval of account payable vouchers. Seen those in your packet? You've seen them, and any questions about those? Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second that.
Okay, Penny?
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Ginder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah.
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes.
John Gordon.
Yes. Okay, 5.1 and 5 through 5.10, we generally take those together. Is there any objection from the board about taking those together?
No.
Great. Okay, we'll entertain a motion then.
It's a surprise about cloud. So moved?
Yeah, I knew about it.
Did you?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Penny?
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Ginder,
Yes.
Mike Hannah.
Yes.
Bill Hutton,
Yes.
Mark Thompson,
Yes.
John Gordon.
Yes. Dr. Hall, would you like to introduce our,
Yeah, I'd like to introduce to you our new Director of Special Education that we just approved. So Rachel Ross Cromer is sitting back here by Mr. Rescue. So Rachel has, she is currently the Assistant Director at Hamilton Southeastern, where she oversees all special ed programming for grades 5 through 12 for their school district. And prior to that, she was Assistant Director at Greenfield and was also a teacher at Noblesville before that, or speech language pathologist at Noblesville before that. So I'll let Rachel introduce herself if she would like.
Podium kind of girl, but I'm gonna come up here.
thank you.
Hi, I'm Rachel. Nice to meet everybody. Definitely looking forward to this director opportunity. And is it a week from Monday? I'll be getting started
Rachel's
roughly?
gonna start on the 21st.
First,
All right.
Tuesday, because of the holidays. So definitely excited to get started. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to South Madison.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good rate. Okay, let's go to 6.1, the contract approval. You've seen the contracts, so we need to approve those. Mr. McCarty, is there anything?
Thank you, President Ward. Tonight in your board packet, you'll find two contracts that the administration is requesting approval for. One of them is a fundraiser and one of them is for a keynote speaker for Summer Pivot Conference.
Do we need to take these together or separately?
Six,
We can do them, we can do them together.
we can do them together?
typically about it.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Okay, so do you want to, we can take them all together. Do you want to talk about the property tax collection updates or anything?
You want to approve the contracts
Better
first?
do the other
Sure,
first.
we'll do 6-1 first, okay?
Oh, I
All
thought
right.
you meant the contracts within
Yeah.
6.1.
6.1. Okay, 6.1, do we have a motion about those contracts?
So moved.
Okay,
Second that.
all right. Penny?
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Gender,
Yes.
Mike Hannah,
Yes.
Bill Hutton.
Yes.
Mark Thompson,
Yes.
John Lord.
Yes. Okay, 6.2, property tax collection updates.
Uh,
Mr.
Thank
McCarty?
you, President Lord. Like I say, 6.2 and 6.3 are, will not need a vote. So we received in December, in your board packet, you'll find two sheets of information there regarding the property taxes that were collected as well as the license excise, financial institution tax, and the commercial vehicle excise tax. In 2024, South Madison, in their budget, was approved to collect $14,158,997. The actual collection that we received was $13,188,686. So we were short about $1 million, short of $1 million, what we were certified to collect. And the bulk of that, the vast majority of that is due to the circuit breaker loss. So on your next sheet, you will kind of see how the assessed value has gone up and the $970,000 shortfall. You can kind of see how that compares with prior years. So as the fire territory kicked in more this year, obviously our loss, our circuit breaker loss went up by about $365,000 over the prior year. So that's a significant amount of money. And you can also see how the assessed value has been trending. It is probably becomes as no surprise given the construction in the district that the assessed value has been going up. But like I say, that has, had that not been happening, then our circuit breaker loss would be much worse than this.
So am I reading that correctly, that the assessed value in South Madison District is $1.3 billion?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. In 2020, it was $943 million. You're right. Man.
Would we guesstimate the fire territory was gonna cost us? Is that just about close to what it was?
Yes, I don't have those exact figures
Well, hand grenade numbers.
with me. There were, when it came in, there were multiple estimates.
Yeah.
There were some revised estimates, but yes, that's approximately what we thought, or what was
I think it's a
estimated.
little bit. That cost is lower than what the original estimate was.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Do you want to do then the notification of the funding floor?
Yes,
6.3?
yes. President Lord, attached in the board docs, you'll find this is the first year that the state of Indiana has issued a funding floor formula. And we are working, trying to reach out to the state because according to this, our teacher wages and benefits have dropped by $1 million, which has not happened. So another district in the county has also reached out to me to track down these numbers. But this was issued last Friday, so we did not receive a reply from the state. There were 3 different numbering codes that went into the Form 9
changed 3 times over the last 3 to 4 years.
So we're tracking this. This has to be entered into the minutes of the board meeting, and it will be posted on the website as well. So this is for information only as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Okay, new business 7.1, the course proposals that Mr. Kruger spoke of. You have them. Do you have any further questions for him? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
Move we approve.
I will second that.
Penny?
Anna Blake,
Yes.
Buck Evans.
Yes.
Kevin Ginder,
Yes.
Mike Hanna.
Yes.
Bill Hutton.
Yes.
Mark Thompson.
Yes.
John Lord.
Yes. Okay, we'll move to 8.1, communication from the public. We have 2 people that have signed up to speak. Just a reminder, we ask that you do come to the podium and address the board members. This is the time for you to speak to us. And we ask that it is a 3-minute time limit on your comments. So the first person that signed up was Jane Thompson. Jane?
I want to thank you for the last 3 years. I've gotten to go back in the classroom. And the most recent one was the last 3 months at East Elementary. And I want to focus on just the board, what you did, what I got to witness at East just recently. Number 1, the roof. The kids are safe, you know, the students are safe, teachers are safe, the building is safe. So thank you for doing what you did for the roof. I also want to say, as I was visiting the different classrooms, how many of you have gone into the classroom as board members. I know you're not paid for it, but they truly appreciate you being in the classroom, caring about them. So please, I will encourage you to continue with that. You, with security, provided an officer in-house every day. And I got to walk around and watched him check doors, just do everything that was anticipated that he was supposed to do. So thank you, each one of you, because it makes a difference for the safety of the kids. And with the safety of the kids, I want to thank you, and I know it sounds stupid, for this 2-hour delay that you offered on Tuesday. If you truly, as you said, put kids first, that's what you did. And I know we were anxious. I was in kindergarten just recently, and they were so anxious about that first day back. So you made it work. Okay, so I just want to thank you. I'd like to extend to Pendleton Heights High School. Here again, I know firsthand what your liaison did with the Family Consumer Science class, partnered with Needlers, has totally changed the curriculum for that particular class. The items that they are able to produce in their Family Consumer Science class is unreal now. And it's just because of what you, as this previous board, did. I got to witness it. Thank you. So all I want to say is I'm very proud to be an Arabian, and I thank you. I know you're not, like I say, paid for all that you do, but you definitely change lives, and you definitely make a difference with these kids. So thanks for putting kids first.
Thank you. Thank you, Jane. Next person signed up is Angie Brown.
Congratulations, Mr. Lord, on president position. I came this evening to welcome Anna in her new role on the board, and I thought in doing that I might share just a few things that helped me when I was new on the board. The first thing was taking the ISBA Model School Governance course. When I came on the board, it was the height of COVID, and so the course had to be virtual. Hopefully now it's back in person, and you get to take the opportunity to do that. In addition, you should get, if you haven't already, gotten a book very similar to this one, The Model of School Governance. I read this book and read this book and read this book, and there's one thing that I wanted to just briefly read out loud, because when I read it the first time, the last 2 words, I couldn't figure out why it would be different. And then after being on the board for a while, it made sense. It says, this job will take you into the most thankless areas of leadership and ask you to make decisions you will absolutely despise. But you will still make those decisions because they are the right decisions for the moment. And that for the moment is what kind of puzzled me at first. But because legislation is constantly changing, I learned that decisions that the board makes about policy also changes. Some other things that helped me when I was on the school board was attending the spring and fall regional meetings. Those are up in Kokomo, and they serve a dinner. It's nice. But they also give you all the updates on court decisions that are going to require you guys to make decisions on school board policy. I brought my fall manual, and I'll give it to you so you can look at some of the policies or some of the court cases that affects the board now. There was a court case that came down today that's going to be affecting you guys with Title IX. Also, the annual fall conference, it's in September. And speaking of the new diploma and the changes with the new diploma, when you go to those fall conferences, there are like breakout sessions that you can go to, and you learn oftentimes what other schools are doing to meet those needs and changes. So anything from school safety to curriculum and other areas. So I would encourage you to do that too. So that's all I have. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Item 8 is from the superintendent, Dr. Hall.
Thank you, President Lord. I just have a few comments. On your desk, you'll find certificates. So a lot of you probably may not be aware, but this is School Board Appreciation Month. So I'm not sure that we've ever done that before, but the School Board Association has started that this month. So we've provided you all with certificates just to celebrate that, to recognize that. So obviously, as Angie talked about, there's a lot of this is a thankless job. Second thing I've got is I just want to kind of give a shout out. Obviously, it's been a brutal weather week, and so I want to thank our maintenance guys and our custodians. A lot of people don't see them, but our custodians are out there at 6 in the morning cleaning sidewalks and salting and below zero weather so our kids can come to school. And our maintenance guys all have been in several times this week. Ken has been, and Nathan have been orchestrating that to make sure that we've got our parking lots open. And a lot of times people don't realize that it takes a little over an hour just to clean the high school parking lot. And so for us to move the amount of snow we had this week and to get school ready, it's a lot for those guys to do. So I want to thank them. And then, of course, the county and the city, town of Pendleton did a good job on the streets. The county did a great job opening up the streets. I would say Monday night, wasn't confident we were going to come to school on Tuesday because of some of the county roads. And then when we got up, our road crew that went out at 4 in the morning on Tuesday, we realized that all the roads were open, which was amazing because we were really not feeling good about that Monday night. So I just want to thank the county highway department and cities and all the cities that are in our district. So, and our bus drivers that deal with this, I can't imagine what it's like to drive an 84 passenger bus down a country road that's one lane with covered in ice. So they're really amazing, and I think they're going to be faced with a challenge tomorrow afternoon, it looks like, and so I'm sure they'll meet that. So then I want to thank our teachers. We've had a good start to the semester. They came in on Monday in the snow, and a lot of them expressed displeasure to me, but a lot of them understood why we had to come in, and so they came in, and we got our job done, so I appreciate that as well. So, and then I just want to welcome Anna, so I'm looking forward to the next 4 years. One more thing. I've got number 4. The roof at East is completely done. So I mentioned that before, so the roof at East is completely done.
Good. Great. Thank you. Great. Okay, communication from the Board of School Trustees. Mike, do you have anything?
Angie, thank you. Thank you so much. Anna, welcome,
Thank you.
and good luck.
Thanks.
Kevin?
I just wanted to mention, I know that a lot of you are aware that Denny Wallace passed away. And whoever decided to put his name on the jerseys, And you can tell I'm getting emotional. He was a very, very dear friend of mine, and I couldn't make it to the game, unfortunately, but I just want to thank him, whoever come up with that. That was marvelous. So, that's all I have.
Mr. Hutton? Just welcome Anna, and next 4 years are going to be a pretty large learning curve, but I know you'll make it. Angie, nice to see you again. Good luck with everything else. Don't be a stranger.
Anna, do you have anything you want to say?
The girls won 57 to 45.
Oh,
The high
good.
school girls.
Good.
Okay.
They were
And,
behind at halftime by 5, I think, so.
Yep.
Good for them.
But I'm just looking forward to the next 4 years and working with you guys and working together, and I think it's going to be great.
Okay, Buck?
Like Mr. Hall said on the maintenance guys, I did receive a couple compliments on, especially, not that the rest of them didn't do fine, but everybody seemed to think or recognize that downtown, the whole area, parking lot, sidewalks was immaculate after that snowstorm. And so they are getting the job done. I know that's another thankless job those guys have, and but they got it done.
Mark?
I think we're off to a good semester. Hopefully, we're being as proactive as we can be about new diplomas, and I know there's going to be a lot of different things on new classes and just how to get kids, put into those areas, but I know you're capable of doing that, and looking forward to the school year.
Yeah, absolutely. Mrs. Blake, welcome again. We appreciate having you here. Angie, it was good to see you tonight. Thanks for all that you've done for the board. Appreciate that for South Madison. Okay? We will, at this point, we'll take, the adjournment of the meeting, the regular meeting.
Move we adjourn.
Okay. We have a second?
Second.
Okay, Penny?
Anna Blake? Yes. Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hanna?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes. Okay. We will jump right into the Board of Finance meeting. We're here, let's just sit down, let's just get the Board of Finance done, if we could, please. So, Mr. McCarty, you want to?
Thank you, President Lord. The Board of Finance, which is made up of board members, is governed by Indiana Code 5-13-7-6. Is required to meet annually after the first Monday in January and before the last day in January. At this meeting, the board elects from board membership a president and secretary of the Board of Finance. The Board of Finance shall review the written report from the corporation treasurer. The report summarizes the district's investments and interest earned during the 2024 calendar year. The Board of Finance shall also review a report on the fiscal condition of the school corporation. The fiscal and qualitative indicators determined by the Fiscal and Qualitative Indicators Committee will be used in the report as well. So, in the past, the board has elected the current board president and the board secretary to those same positions under the Board of Finance.
So we need to approve that, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so,
I move we approve it.
okay. We have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hanna?
Yes.
Bill Hutton?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes. So,
Fortunately, we had a good year with interest rates this year. As you all know, the interest rates are going down, though. And then we had the GO bond. Also, I invested that money separately. When doing that, we cannot earn any more than what we're paying in interest. So I negotiated with First Merchants, and with a set rate less than our interest rate, on those bonds. So there again, that puts more money into that pot for the GO bond also. So, you can look there. So we had $995,000 $1,152.35 in interest earned this past year. So it was really a pretty good year over the last few.
Great. Wonderful, thank you. Okay. Mr. McCarty, do you want to do 10.3, the review or report of the financial condition of the school corporation?
Yes, President Lord. About 10 years ago, a little bit of the history on how this has come about. About 10 years ago, there were two school corporations, Muncie Community Schools and Gary Public Schools, that got into some financial serious problems. So the Distress Defendant Appeals Board developed some fiscal indicators that the boards could review to give potential heads up on some issues that were coming and some trend lines. So these reports were developed out of, kind of out of that study, and obviously, you know, your average daily membership, since Indiana, the bulk of the funding comes from your student count now. That is obviously a very important factor. The net assessed value, obviously, that we've seen on another report, you know, if you're in an area where it's going down, you know, that's certainly an area of concern as well. So these reports are available online, and I think the link is on the reports themselves, and I think in the board package as well. But you can go online and look at these reports for every single public school system in the state. So, you know, if you're bored at night, if not. But, you know, the first one, obviously, you know, I think a lot of people see all the new homes being constructed in our district and assume that, oh, you must be bursting at the seams with new students. But, you know, looking at this report from 2015, 2016, the blue line is basically the in-person. And I think a lot of people in the community would probably be surprised to know that we have less full-time students this year than we did in the 15-16 school year. So I know we go through those more in depth when we prepare our budget, but like I say, this is one that obviously they felt was an important indicator because there are some districts that lose significant number of students, and that is tough. So we're fortunate that we've remained fairly steady. You know, we've seen a little bit of growth. I think our trough was the 2021 school year, so we have seen some growth in, you know, some moderate growth in student count, which obviously helps with our budget. So, next one is our demographics, which will, you know, they highlight free and reduced special education and English language learners, which here again, if you look over the past 8 years on this report, there's been a jump in the free and reduced, and a more significant jump in the English language learners. So, which probably comes as no surprise. So, next one down is all the fund balances are. It's kind of, that one's a little tough to follow with all the different line graphs with all the different funds. But, the next one is the annual deficit and surplus, and obviously, you know, as a school corporation, we're not in the business of making a profit, so we try to keep that, our expenditures and revenues as close as we can each year. So we have a, next chart is our fund balance as a percentage of our expenditures, which you know, has been trending up since 19. So the last one that they the last one that affects South Madison that they highlight is the revenue by type. So you know, that kind of gives you the big blue section is our revenue that we receive per student. So that is, you know, certainly by far and away the biggest chunk. The one at the bottom, which has 0 for South Madison, if you have an operating
Anybody have any questions for Mr. McCarty or Mrs. Myers, Attorney Myers? Okay. Thank you for all the work you do. It's so meticulous what you have to do and the millions of dollars that you manage, so thank you for all your hard work. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll entertain a motion for the adjournment of the Board of Finance meeting.
I make a motion.
Okay. Penny?
Anna Blake?
Yes.
Buck Evans?
Yes.
Kevin Ginder?
Yes.
Mike Hanna? Bill Hutton?
Yes.
Mark Thompson?
Yes.
John Lord?
Yes. Okay. So we will enter into executive session. Let's say